Hi everyone, I am Priyamvada. I have been working as a software engineer in GeekyAnts for last 3 years, and today we will be discussing automated grading of interviews using GPT-Powered AI. And so, as you all must be familiar with TopGeek. TopGeek is an interview platform where we record the audios and video of the interview. So what we have done is we have created an automatic grading system using GPT. Now, let's start. First comes what is the actual problem statement. So we all know that hiring is a tedious task for hiring manager as well as interviewers. Interview is a major part of that. For solving this hiring problem and reducing this time consuming part, we have created a project that can help reduce the time. So what is OpenAI and ChatGPT? Just a short introduction that OpenAI is an organization that does a wide range of AI technologies and gives us various API such as ChatGPT API, Whisper API for speech to text and all. While ChatGPT is a specific AI model which works on natural language inputs. Natural language inputs means the language in which we talk, not the computed and coding language. So you all already must be familiar with ChatGPT. If not, I'll just show a short page how it works. Because this is ChatGPT. You can just go and write any question like hi, and it will give you a response. What is OpenAI? And it will give you a response. It has a special feature. It can also act as an evaluator, which we will be utilizing. Going back to our project. Next comes what is the architectural overview of the entire project. As I said, we already have recorded interviews in TopKey. So what we did, first we fetch the completed interviews. And for each interview, we fetch the question asked in the interview, the answer given, and the recording path of the video. If the answer has been answered in a text box which is provided there, then it must be a coding answer. So we consider it as a coding answer and move on to the evaluation part. But coding is not only the only type of question that we ask. So if it is a behavioral type question where answer has to be given in speech, so we have to convert the speech to text. In that case, if the answer in text box is missing, we send it to speech to text API, which we do using DeepGram API. Then we send the output to OpenAI and we ask it to evaluate for us. It sends back rating and feedback to us, which we update in our database. In this way, we automate the grading test. Now, going step by step, the first step is data retrieval. For retrieving the data, we use a GraphQL query, which looks like this. On the left-hand side, you can see we provide a room hash here. Room hash is attached to each interview, and for each room hash, there are around 10 to 12 questions. On the right hand is the response. As you can see, we are getting an answer, a question, and a recording, and few IDs along with it. So in the first question that is highlighted here, you can see the answer box is empty. So we are not getting any answer in the text box. It means the answer has been answered by the candidate in voice, which we will need to convert to speech to text. Similarly, in the second answer below, you can see the answer has been answered in code, which can also be evaluated using the OpenAI. Now, as I mentioned, if the answer is not given in coding, we need to convert it to speech to text. For this purpose, we can use multiple frameworks, but we have chosen to use DeepGram API as it is quite fast and it works quite well with Indian accent. So speech to text depends on accent because foreign accents are quite different from Indian accent. We use speech to text in Indian accent, and DeepGram works quite well. Recently, OpenAI has launched Whisper API also, which is also performing quite well. And in future, we might actually switch to OpenAI, and we will see on the performance. Just to see an example of this, what we have done, since we are already fast typing for evaluation process, we are not just leaving the text alone. What we are doing, we are going in the TopGeek page. This is the TopGeek evaluation page. If we click on a question answered by a candidate, just a minute. Okay. So we clicked on the first question and we went to the analytics page. Here you can see the entire transcription has been saved here. So that in future, if anyone wants to go through the videos, they can just go through the text as well and read it as in subtitle. It is available as subtitles also. So here we are doing multiple words with a single step. Now moving to the actual natural language processing part. Here we are using OpenAI to generate rating and feedback. With the new slideshow. See, we already have a question that we have fetched from the GraphQL API. And we have the answer either in speech-to-text format or in coding format. What we do here, we send a prompt. The prompt says this: please act as an evaluator. OpenAI has a special feature that it can act as an evaluator, but we have to specify that. We are utilizing that function here. And the question that we already have, the answer that we already have, and it's written here, please rate this answer between 0 to 10. As you can see, this is not a coding language. This is completely a natural language. And OpenAI works quite well with natural language. That's why we are using it. And we are specifying and respond in the format rating and format. That should be in JSON format. We are specifying what exactly we need in natural language. Now, as we said this, it will return us rating and feedback. You will see this in action in just a minute. So this is the code that we are using for sending to OpenAI. Here you can see we have specified a model engine text DaVinci 003. OpenAI has multiple language models. DaVinci models is one of the best model and it has been trained on multiple books and articles available on the internet. It is one of the biggest model and it predicts the next word quite well. What OpenAI does, it actually predicts the next word depending on the last word. So whatever text it generates, it depends on the trained model. So DaVinci model, since it has been trained on quite a large model, the prediction of next word in this is quite good and the answer given by it is mostly relevant answers. Sometimes it does give some unrelevant answer, but since it is quite large model, it works quite well. The next line comes, we give the engine, the model engine, then the prompt. The prompt, as we discussed, please act as an evaluator, and it gives us the answer. Here we use a thing called max token. Max tokens means the maximum length of answer we want. We don't want a much descriptive answer. If we want a large answer, then we can increase the number of tokens. It is simply number of words. Then these are some more parameters. Stop being probability, the highest probability answer we want. One answer we want, and stop is equal to none means we don't want it to stop when a specific word has reached. Then here's a word called temperature. Temperature simply means randomness. How much randomness of the next word prediction do you want? We have set it to 0.5 and it is working quite well. You can also play around with it. For different situation, it can differ. Moving on with the next step. Yes, so we already have the rating and feedback that we achieved from this. Here we can see rating and feedback we are getting back. So now we need to update our database. Here we have the rating and the comment. We are again using a GraphQL query called update opening interview. Here we are sending back the rating and comment to the database so that it can be saved. Now let's see a live demo so we can actually understand what I have told this part. First, we will fetch from the database. Just a second. Let's start. So this is the response received from completed interview. Here is the ID question. Here, as I said, here we can see the answer is not answered in text box. It means the first answer, it will go to deep graph. Here is the question. Tell us about yourself. Here is the recording part. So we fetched that. Let's see for the first question itself. This is the first question. So we moved on. Here we started the process. Sending to deep graph. Since the answer was not answered in coding, we sent it to deep graph. Here clearly it's mentioned that this is your question. Now the answer. The deep graph converted the entire speech to text and provided it as an answer. Hello, myself working as I have never looked. Whatever the person has said, it completely transcribes it. Now, OpenAI sends back rating 8. It gave the answer rating of 8 and a comment, good answer. You provided a good overview of your experience and background. In this way, we got the rating and comment what we needed. The response from OpenAI, we can see here, it is in JSON format. Now, at last, we send the entire query to data. This was just a short overview of what we do. So in conclusion, I can say that the entire automatic process worked quite well, but we did face a few challenges. The first challenge was OpenAI API was working well, but not as well as a human can grade. Sometimes the answer rating would always come between 7 to 8 to 8.5. It was not varying much, even after changing the temperature and max tokens and all the hyperparameters. Few days ago, ChatGPT launched its own API. OpenAI launched ChatGPT's own API, and we tested that. And in this instant, it started working quite well. So we are in the process of replacing the OpenAI with the ChatGPT AI, which is quite similar, just few lines of changes, but it's started working quite well, and that is the future we are going to do with this project. Thank you.